What's going on, guys? This is the last meta 5-back. If you've never used the 5-back before, that's it. You can never use this formation again because they removed it from FC25. In fact, all 5-backs have been removed, not as in the formation has been removed, but it's the way they're overpowered, the way the left back and right backs are completely unmarked. This is something that I masterminded back in FIFA 19. And it's been one of the best formations, especially during team of the year, team of the season. And with the iteration of last year, they brought CDMs into the 5-back. So this is the last time you could ever use this formation. So you definitely need to try it. It is honestly, in my opinion, top 10 formations inside FC of all time. And this iteration, I'd probably say all the 5-backs, especially the 5-2-2-1 and the 5-2-1-2, are definitely my top 5 formation. You may have seen that yesterday. Now, these are the tactics. So, first, we're going to go over the defensive style, balanced. Don't forget, next year, there's going to be no defensive styles like this. You're effectively on your own, I would say. You're effectively on your own. You're using depth to basically align how your team will play. So if you want to apply constant pressure next year, you're going to need to use depth to arrange that. There's also no width. So how the defensive shape width is defined, EA defined that. We can't define that anymore, which is actually it's not that good. We should actually be able to define our width. But I'll tell you a secret. You know, see a lot of videos, people say, oh, 37 width is the key. You know what? You give the average player 100 width and 50 width, no one's going to know the difference because every formation had its own width. But I used to laugh when I see those videos, but at the end of the day, people got to do what they got to do for views, right? But we keep the formation narrower, being key here because it's a 5-back. So we use a bit of more of an extreme range. So although you can even put this to 1, it's not going to be as extreme as you think. 35 just a tiny bit more narrow just to reduce those gaps. The build-up play has to be fast build-up play because when you get the ball back, you want to move up quickly. Don't forget, there's no long ball, should I say, next year. And then the chance creation, why is it not direct passing? Because as we get into FC25, direct passing has changed, or if anything, it's not going to be there. The reason why is chance creation affects the final third. Build-up play affects the first 2/3, okay? There's no final third chance creation next year. You can choose direct passing or short passing or whatever you want to choose, but it doesn't affect the final third. That depends on roles. So that's something to understand. With 45, plays the box on 7. Now, the reason why this formation really trumped the power and all 5-backs were good, but it's because this one had cut passing lanes, okay? Cut passing lanes, if you ever wanted AI help, this is the reason people are going to struggle next year. I'll explain to you why. Even I will struggle this year. Well, not struggle, but I will find it more difficult, more challenging. The reason why is that's 2 players, right? That's your opponent's striker, and that's your opponent's, let's say, centre mid. What cut pass lanes does is it allows your player to naturally AI moves that player in position. So when you select that player, it's already at the right place at the right time. This instruction will not exist in roles next year, even for CDMs. So a lot of you are going to miss that cut passing lanes, but stay back, cut passing lanes, cover center. Left back, right back, both are enjoying the attack and overlap. The key thing is hug the style lanes, which again is not in next year's game, which I thought that should be at least in the D-pad tactics. I think that should be the very minimum. I'm kind of upset how attacking 4-backs and D-pad tactics have changed, especially the hug the sidelines. Why is that not in? But that's been removed. Back 3 on stay back. I would say put the goalkeeper on super keeper. Although it's not similar to next year, it's important to understand how super keepers work outside the box. But next year, super keepers can actually stay on the halfway line. No guys exclusive as well there. Now, for the strikers, stay central, get it behind and stay forward, being very, very important. Next year, the way a player will still stay central, but they'll have like a player that's forward, a player that can play wide. So the roles have taken over this. This getting behind function is basically gone. Yeah, you could do something like a poacher. I know a poacher doesn't get in behind in real life per se, but in FC they call it poacher, and that player runs it behind. That will be the way that you do it. And the defensive support has changed because now it would depend on, okay, well, if I put a player on a false 9, they could have like a deep false 9 or an advanced false 9, as an example. That's how roles will change. And then we have the wide camps. Now, I've done both. This is actually not correct. Put them both on stay back while attacking. So at least when you're defending, you're going to have a 5-back and a 2-back. And then the wide cams, again, these are wide cams. They're actually going to play more as lambs and I would say more left mids, right mids. So in the system, whenever you see cams, especially in FC, it's always wide players. As I said, forget the players' ratings. I'm just doing this on PC just to test out some of the graphics for next year, see how the animations are moving smoothly on PC. But ideally, you should have all 99 rated players at this stage of the game, realistically. So so you can actually put wingers here. You could put centre mids here, left backs. You could put anyone here who's got good pace and 99 rated stats overall. You should know this already. This is why this formation really excels at this stage of the year as opposed to other years. Now, as I said to you, the left back and right back. Now, this is your last time to ever play this formation in its current format. This has been there since FIFA 19 days, been one of the most meta formations, always been top 5 formations, the 5-2-1-2. When this iteration came out, I believe, was it 2 years ago? This was very much at the prominence as well with 2 CDMs. But this gives you a balance because you have a back 5 and you have 2 CDMs and you still have those wide players. If that Lam and a Ram was a left centre forward and right centre forward, this would have been the best formation inside the game this year because a left back and right back would have been so wide and they would have been unmarked. So you can still pass the ball to them and they'll be unmarked to do a cut back inside the box. Then you would have the left centre forward and right centre forward being like the 4-3-2-1 and it would have been ridiculous OP. This could have been the best formation inside the game. Now, what they've done next year is they've nerfed the 4-3-2-1 and they made it like this system here. They put a cam here and a cam here. That is how the 4-3-2-1 is next year. Now, I'll tell you a secret. You can put the shadow striker instructions on them, which makes them like strikers, but they don't play the same way as what they would this year. So, if you want to use the 4-3-2-1 next year, this is actually a good test because you can actually use this system and you can be like, oh, this is what kind of like the 4-3-2-1 will look like next year with the 3 players up front. So that is just something to bear in mind. But that is pretty much it. I think that's all. I said this is the last time you can play this. Do not forget to use Hug the Sidelines with this formation. It is the most important thing. And I'm sure you know already, if you're an Elite Plus player, you should already know, for example, how to use the D-pad tactics to control fullbacks. You can never do it. And that is one meta that all the pro players missed, if you're asking me. Spoke to a few of them about it, but no one actually knew how to use attacking fullbacks. And there was a system that I knew. And I spoke to a few other coaches about this. Well, actually, not a few, only 1 or 2. But there was a way where you can make your opponent's right mid move away with D-pad tactics. But I never, ever, ever released it. But you can try it. You can go into a game and activate the D-pad tactics, attacking fullback, and you can watch your opponent's AI track with that play. It's been there since FIFA 19. But it's the way to open up an opponent's defense. But I never, ever talked about it. I never released it because I thought at that point it was breaking the game. But since no one's ever going to play this formation again, or at least not on FC25. I can, of course, tell you that. But that is a Nil Guides exclusive, 1 in a million. But yeah, hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget, if you want to get better at FC25, 25 now, you come to my Patreon series. I've actually, on my Patreon series, got a video where I explain every single formation, every single position, and every single role, how they work, and their movements. So stay ahead of the game. Join the Patreon series now. I think that's like a 30-minute video on every single position to see how they move, how they changed from last year, and how to be, I would say, knowledgeable on how they work, because that's the key. When the game comes out in FC in 2 weeks' time, it's understanding how those players work. Thanks for watching. Don't forget Patreon series down below. Don't get better after 1 month. Will we find your mind? No, guys, guarantee. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time. Peace out.